Good day everyone, my name is Nadif Muhammad Rakoputra, and now I'm gonna try to tell you about my way how I read a paper and prepare my own slides. So this is the step that I took on how I can create a slide out of a paper that I read. So if my professor or my colleague ask me to read a paper and then present it to them, this is the way I do it, how I can do it good, how to present them the best that you can. So maybe this will help you. And then of course the first thing that we must do is to read the paper. And how I read the paper is I do the three-way approach that we already studied before. I read it by first read the introduction, title and subtitle, and so that of course we can know what this paper try to tell us. And then the second one is to look at understand the figure, because that way we could get what this paper output is, so we can know the story of the paper. And then in the last one, after I understand the concept of the paper, I read again everything so that I can know all about the detail, so I can tell my professor or note some problem that I found. Because when you read everything from the beginning to the bottom, you will find some problems, but also you can go into the depths of the paper. And then after I read it, the things that I will do is that I will write all the problem and question that I have, because of course we're gonna face some problems and questions, something that we don't understand, or some problems that we face, like getting stuck when we try to implement it, or something. And then the second one that I do after I read a paper is I try to summarize the paper with my word, because that way I could understand the paper more in depth. Because when I try to summarize it with my word, that becomes of course, and that gonna become the draft for my presentation. And then the third things that I will do is I will ask a professional or someone who knows, or someone who already read this paper, about my problem and question, so I can get my problem and question answered. And then after I read the paper and do the things that I have already told you, I try to create a slide. So I try to create a slide based on the summary that I already create, and then based on the summary that I already create, and based on the problem and question that already being answered. And so the first thing that I will do when I try to create a slide is to create a slide that contains the title and the subtitle first, like the big important things first. And then I try to insert some text and a little explanation that is correlated to each subtitle. So that's gonna be the thing that that the audience will read. Just try to add a little word just to catch the people attention, and then you explain it by yourself, because you already understand it and you can explain it without looking at the slide. Then the last thing that I will do is I try to create or search some figures that I can show to the audience, so that the audience can listen to my explanation while looking at the figures, so they can understand it more easily. And thank you very much. That is a step that I will take, that to read a paper and make a slide out of a paper. Thank you.